Hey, what is up, you guys? Wyattxhim here, and today I'm gonna put another top 10 list in for you. This is my top 10 least favorite death metal bands. Now, I know I talk a lot about, death metal bands that I like. What about the death metal bands I don't like? I really kind of was thinking of not putting this on, but I really don't have anything to do. My girlfriend's in the shower. We're gonna go out a little bit since it's Valentine's Day. So instead of spreading the love, how about spreading a little bit of hate with my top 10 least favorite death metal bands? Keep in mind, for a heads up, 10 through 6, to be fair, I do have a few songs by them I do enjoy, but the majority of 10 through 6 I do not like. 5 through 1 I really don't like, so just keep that in mind. Also, this is just my opinion, remember that, guys, so I know this is going to upset some of you, so please, if it does, I'm sorry. For the other ones that don't know these guys, maybe this the reasons why I'm sorry, for the people who don't know these bands, maybe the reasons why I don't like them, you might like them. So, still, even though I'm still promoting 10 bands I don't like, maybe it's promoting to other people that do like it, that just don't know it yet. So, starting it off, also, I do include deathcore bands in this too, even though they can be death metal-ish to some extent. So anyway, starting it off, number 10, Infant Annihilator. Infant Annihilator to me has really been a over-the-top, brutal deathcore band. They kind of just they go a little too much for my taste, and it just seems like they care so much about being insanely chaotic and monstrous and just sounding like so much noise that there doesn't feel like there's any musicianship going in. They just feel, to me, when I listen to them, I feel like it's just all about speed, it's all about aggression. There's really no variety or any difference about these guys, and I feel like as they go on, they're really not going to try anything different with their sound, but I'm still interested to hear more stuff by them, because I mean they are pretty insane, which I do like about them. It's just really you're not going to get anything different out of each release from these guys, how I feel about them as of right now. But anyway, moving on, number 9, this might surprise some of you, but again, I do like these guys a little bit, but really they're kind of like Infant Annihilator on what I just said. Rings of Saturn. They just use technicality way too much. It doesn't even sound like music. When they use these over-the-top technical riffs, it kind of just goes all over the place, and it just makes me, like, it becomes less memorable for me. I feel like if you kind of keep it a little bit simple, it gets more memorable, but Rings of Saturn has never done that. They've never kept it simple. They kind of just continuously keep going more and more over the top, and it's becoming less and less to my liking so far over the past 3 releases. And though the vocals aren't too bad, it's just the instrumentals just go way over the top for my liking, and I really can't get into it that much. Anyway, number 8, Fallujah. Kind of like Rings of Saturn, like I said, but again, they just go way over the top. Everything just sounds like a mess. All the melodies are just really weirdly put into place. Everything's just so messy sounding, and I really just can't get into Fallujah that much. Though their newest album is pretty okay, I guess. It's nothing that I can remember. It's nothing that makes me want to go back to listening to it again, which is why I don't have it in my collection. Next up, number 7, I've missed these guys 2 times on purpose every show I've been to. Thy Art Is Murder. Though their album Hate is decent to an extent, again, it just feels like all their albums are about this dark atmosphere that's just really nothing new, and it just feels like they're always rewinding the same sound, but just trying to make it in a different combination, and I really do not like it. Next, number 6, these guys were a big disappointment to me, and they deserve this spot at number 6. I like their first album a lot, but the rest has just been a mess. The Faceless. How they try to combine progressive and technicality, and it just sounds really messy and inconsistent, and I really do not like it. And after they've already lost 3 members, I think there's only like 2 or 1 member original left, so I don't know how much longer these guys have, but I really don't think maybe if they get new members, they'll get a new sound, hopefully. But really, they haven't made anything good to me in quite some time. Next, number 5, this is the part of the list where I really don't like it. There is not one song any of these bands have made that I like, so keep that in mind. Number 5, again with this really over-the-top technical riffage, Brain Drill. I thought I liked them until I realized it's just, again, it's just so over-the-top, guitar riffage that it gets so boring and just becomes background noise. The solos sound more easier to play than the overall main riffs, if that just shows you how over the top these guys are. And though the vocals are, standard run-of-the-mill technical death metal vocals, they just seem to go more and more over the top, and it makes me not like them more and more. Next, number 4, I've seen these guys live, and they're kind of dicks in a way. They're not really like, I don't know. They're kind of like a little bit of a jerk after they made, fun of like people for not smoking weed, I guess it seemed like. But they are called Abiotic. Again, over-the-top guitar riffs that just really have no remembrance to them. Vocals that aren't really all that special to me personally, and it's just over-the-top stuff that really doesn't feel like they're putting in any thought to their music. It just seems like when they're, in the studio writing stuff, they're like, okay, well, we can either go with over-the-top guitar riffs or really over-the-top guitar riffs. That's how I look at this band, and they really just haven't impressed me ever. Number 3, something different than technical stuff. This is Waking the Cadaver. Now, Waking the Cadaver is a brutal deathcore, death metal band that just feels like they're trying so hard to be the next Devourment that it just comes off so weak how I look at it. They add like really stupid audio clips of stuff in their music that just makes me take them less serious. And just everything about them to me just doesn't feel like there's anything standing out about them. They're just, to me, they're trying to be Devourment, and they just will never ever be Devourment. And just, it's how, if you were to listen to them, you're going to think, wow, this feels like Devourment, only just 1,000 times less intense. And that's really what I get out of Waking the Cadaver every single time I listen to these guys. Next, number 2, I do not shy away from saying how much I dislike these guys. The worst show I've ever seen in my life, and I don't think anything's ever gonna top it as in worst for a show I've seen, unless I see number 1, but I'll get to that in a second. This is Wyattxhim. Now, again, just release after release. I've said this 1,000 times with these guys. Release after release, these guys continuously get worse. More lazier writing, less creativity, and they keep getting more and more fan appreciation, which I really don't get with these guys. Vocals, at first, I thought were really good, are just really extremely dry live that were terrible. They have 3 guitarists, which I'll never ever understand why they need 3 guitarists when it sounds like only one is doing something. I'll never understand that. The only thing about them is drum work, but everything else obliterates the drums, so it's like there's nothing for me to enjoy about these guys. And they try to be heavy, but at the same time they're playing really slow and just nothing. Everything feels dull and everything sounds rotten, and it's just really not up my alley. But anyway, number 1, to a lot of people, the worst death metal band out there, and to be honest, I fucking agree with everyone who says that. This is 6 Feet Under. Nothing these guys have made is good. Nothing. Everything is dull as fuck. Vocals are as dry as sandpaper, I'll just put it like that. Nothing has a punch or a kick or a headbangable riff. Everything feels slow, dull, and just really nothing full of creativity. All the lyrical things are about zombies or dead things, which, Chris Barnes has not changed at all since he started doing music. And I really don't know how these guys have sold over 300,000 copies since they've been around. Just nothing these guys have made to me stands out. makes me feel like I should go out and buy it. I don't understand why these guys have a fan base or anything. I just do not like them. I hope to God I never have to go through a show with these guys, because I've seen video clips of them and it's just so boring, so lazy how it looks, and I hope I never see them. But anyway, that's just my top 10 least favorite death metal bands out there. So if you have a top 5, top 10, top 7, please comment below, let me know. I love hearing your opinions. We'll comment back to yours as soon as possible. As always, guys, subscribe to my channel for lists like this every single day. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep it metal.